Mr. Banks. Gentlelady's time's expired. Gentleman from Indiana is recognized.
General Brown, according to the Blue Star Family's 2023 annual survey of military families, trust in the military is down to the lowest that it's been in 20 years, down sharply nearly 20% since President Biden took office. The poll also says that only 32% of military families would recommend service to a relative. That's down 55% since 2016. The National Independent Panel on Military Service and Readiness poll says that 68% of active military members have witnessed the politicization of the military. And the Reagan Institute poll in November of 2022 says that only 48% of Americans had a, quote, a great deal of trust in the military, down from 70% in 2018. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I appreciate the question, and I'm not sure what I attribute it to. But one of the things I'm focused on, and I highlighted in my message to the Joint Forces, trust is the foundation of our profession. And what I'm focused on is, as a chairman, is that our trust goes through our members, to their families, our local leadership, and to the nation.
You would agree those are disappointing numbers, startling, if they are true,
well,
really fact?
I will tell you that, as a senior military officer, I want the nation to trust us. And when I see numbers like that, it is disappointing. And my goal is to lead by example.
General Milley testified in this room that, quote, I want to understand white rage. What is it that caused thousands of people to assault this building and try to overturn the Constitution of the United States? What do you think he meant by that, and was it appropriate?
I don't know what he meant by it.
Was it appropriate?
I'm not going to comment on it.
General Milley confirmed that he secretly called Speaker Pelosi about President Trump's mental fitness and nuclear command authority. Do you think that's acceptable conduct of someone in your position?
Well, I'll tell you, in my position, what I will continue to do is provide professional military advice.
Would you ever be open to a call with Speaker Johnson about President Biden's mental fitness?
When I talk to Speaker Johnson, I'll talk to him about the things that are tied to
military advice. It wouldn't be appropriate, though, would it? Someone in your position.
I'd focus on providing military advice.
General Milley told his aides that President Trump was preaching, quote, the gospel of the Führer. Do you think it's okay for the chairman of the Joint Chiefs to compare the commander-in-chief to Hitler?
In my position, I would...
Really? Yes or no, General?
No.
Is that appropriate? It's not appropriate. General Milley testified in a question to me that he, quote, does interviews regularly with print media, books, documentaries, videos on TV because, quote, it is a part of a senior official's job. Do you agree that talking that frequently to the media is part of your job? Do you talk regularly off the record to book authors?
Since I've been in this position, I haven't talked to a book author, but I do talk to the media off the record.
Okay. General Milley testified to the Senate that he talks to the media, quote, 2, 3, 4 times a week, and that it is, quote, very important to make sure that senior officials talk to the media. Do you talk to the media 4 times a week?
Not quite that frequently, no.
During his farewell address in reference to President Trump, General Milley said, quote, we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator. Do you think it's acceptable to cause the current commander-in-chief a wannabe dictator?
I choose my words wisely.
It's not appropriate, is it?
No.
To call the commander-in-chief a wannabe dictator. Your term ends in October of 2027. There's a presidential election coming up. The current president might win. The former president might win. That's why this matters. And the politicization of the military is something that I think all Americans care deeply about because it contributes to that decline in the public trust. It contributes to that historic recruitment crisis that we find ourselves in today. And I'm just curious, General, I've always wanted to ask you, how can we repair the damage done by your predecessor who will always have a reputation as perhaps the most political general that's ever sat in the position that you sit in today?
Well, what I'll focus on is leading by example, knowing and following what's expected of us as military members, and staying true to my oath.
I think it's really important. Thank you. I yield back.
I thank the gentleman. As I said earlier, we will now recess for votes. My plan is, as we'll walk off the floor at 12:30, we'll reconvene approximately 12:40.